This book ruined me. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Can you guys believe the year is already over halfway done? Like, that is crazy to me. Time is not real. But I did this video last year and I had so much fun doing it, so I want to do it again. Last year I did a tier ranking of every book I've read so far in the year. I'm gonna do that with you again. It's gonna be a little bit over halfway. I'm gonna do everything I've read up to today, and I'm filming this on July 22nd. We're gonna tier rank it in the same tiers I did last year. So the categories are, will sell my soul experiences again, exclamation points, enjoyable but forgettable, did I like it, would I recommend it, sure, don't make me talk about it, I'm simply not picking this book up and you can't make me. I had found this last year on Tier Maker. We're doing it again. Hopefully this won't be super difficult. We'll see. We're gonna do it together. So I've read 70 books this year so far. I'm going to start ranking them. I have them all here on the side. I did, for any like books that I read that were like series, like I read a ton of books in this series, I'm just including the first picture and I'll discuss it. It'll make sense. So I'm not even sure these are in the correct order that I read them. We're just gonna roll with it. Starting with Heist Royale. I actually just finished this book recently, so this was the last book I had read. Heist Royale, I'm gonna put in the exclamation point. So this is the sequel to Thieves Gambit. I was eagerly waiting for this. I gave it 4 stars. It hit a lot of perfect notes for me, but also left me wanting a lot more. Almost to where like I feel like this needed like another couple of chapters or like a third book in this series, because there's so much more we could have talked about. But like, I still had a great time. I'm just a little greedy because I love this series, I love this world, love these characters. Next book, so I guess now this is the first book I read of the year, Murtagh. I'm also putting X under the exclamation point. I am a huge Aragon fan and grew up on those books, and Murtagh was so nice coming back to it. I always say though, Christopher Poloni's books are long-winded, they're dense. So it's not like fast-paced, rushed excitement. It's like, it's a journey, and it's a journey I love. Do it again. Love theoretically. Literally, I didn't even say, I reread this book for the first time last week, the week before, a couple weeks ago. Just as devastating the second time around. This book is everything to me. One of my top books of the year. Like, it read me in so many ways. I saw so much of myself in the main character, and the way Jack responds to Elsie is just, maybe that's what I want. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So Let Them Burn. I loved this book. I actually just pre-ordered the new paperback version of it. It has a new cover that is gorgeous. Exclamation points. Just like magic. So I loved this book in the moment, although I have not thought about it since. So I'm gonna put it as enjoyable but forgettable, which is like, hurts my soul because I love Sarah Hogel's writing, but I legit have not thought about it since I read it. But in the moment, great read, holiday read, super light, super fluffy. I had a great time. Wrath of the Talons. This book destroyed me. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a sequel to Last of the Talons, which I never shut up about. This book ruined me. Literally ruined me. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. Ruined me. Moving on. My other half. I'm gonna put this in did I like it? Would I recommend it? Sure. This is a Muslim rep book. I'm pretty sure it's an indie author who offered to send me her book, and I really enjoyed a lot of parts of it. It just wasn't the best written or best edited book I've ever read, but you know, like, I had a good time ish. Like, it's okay. Did I give this 3 or 4 stars? I can't remember. Probably 3 stars. Bride by Allie Hazelwood. You know, I will always be the first person to say when I don't think a book is for me. Like, I'm just not the target audience. I'm not somebody who typically enjoys this book, and so I won't like diss on the book or diss on the author or anything. No, I love Allie, by the way. Love Allie Hazelwood. Never diss her books. But I just don't think this book is for me. Like, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna put it in like, don't make me talk about it. There's some parts of it I really enjoyed. I don't think this I gave it 3 stars. It's not the worst rating. I just don't think this book's for me. And like, that's fine. That's fine. Love Radio. I enjoyed this book, but I forgot about it. So I'm gonna put enjoyable but forgettable. It's like coming back to me. as we're looking at this. I did really enjoy the book as like a contemporary. It was really good. I just didn't leave a huge impact on me. By the way, I'm drinking a peppermint mocha. I feel like I should, this is like a huge moment for me. Peppermint mocha in July, because my local Foxtail did Christmas in July and brought back the peppermint mocha, which is my favorite holiday drink, just for a week. So I'm gonna be drinking this every day this week. I don't know why I felt like I need to tell you that, but you needed to know, because this is so important to me. Merciless Ones. I don't know if I put the internal ones also in here. I finally finished the series. This is the second and third book. The third book should also be in here. To the Gilded Ones. I don't know why I waited so long to finish this series. The series is so good. I don't know why I waited this long to finish it. Like, the Gilded Ones series, if you're looking for like a good YA fantasy written by a Black author and it's just like excellent, that's that series. Blew my mind. These next ones, I'm pretty sure these two are Tassaud Kanani's second. This was actually original. Her first series was Sunbolt. Was it before written before Thorn? Anyway, I love everything Tassaud writes, and Tassaud could publish her grocery list, and I would go buy it. So this is the first book. I'm gonna put it under exclamation point, and this is a little, I think, the short story that goes with the first book. So I'm gonna kind of put them together over here. Okay. Love on the Brain. I read a lot of Ali Hazelwood this year. I liked this one. Not a ton though. I'm gonna put it in like this one. Yeah, like here. Because I didn't hate it. I had a good time. So here's my opinion on Ali Hazelwood books. I think you can rank Love Theoretically, Love Hypothesis, and Love on the Brain in one category. And then you have Bride's a separate category because it's a different genre. And then her latest book, Not in Love, is also a different genre, I would consider. So out of the three, like, STEM, oh, they're all kind of STEM romances. That kind of STEM romance. Love Theoretically, Love on the Brain, Love Hypothesis. Love on the Brain is my least favorite. I think I gave this 3 stars. It was just like a little too millennial for me. Not in a dissing millennials kind of way. And that just like, it just wasn't super enjoyable. And I said what I said. Okay, Grounded. This was like a cute middle grade story with a bunch of Muslim authors writing on it. Had a lovely time. I'm gonna put this in exclamation point. Destroy the Day and Prisoner's Throne. Actually, I would do together because I kind of, actually no, I won't. Destroy the Day is separate. Destroy the Day, I had a good time. I'm gonna put this right here. I had a great time with Destroy the Day. I love this series from Bridget, which I'll be 100% honest, Curse, So Dark and Lonely did not end, that series did not end the way I wanted it to. And I did not like the third, I like the second book, okay. I did not like the third book in that series. Destroy the Day, which starts with Defy the Night, that series, whole trilogy, slays, I loved it. Prisoner's Throne, I wanted to group them at first because I read them in like the same week, and that's why, but we're not gonna do that. Prisoner's Throne was a bit of a letdown. And if I speak my truth, literally the 4 stars I gave this came from the Jude and Carden moments. And I said what I said. You know, I liked, what was it? The Soul and Air. I liked The Soul and Air. It's not Cruel Prince level for me, but I liked it. This book, I just was not vibing with like the character growth of like Oak and Surin, I think is how you say her name. Not vibing with it. Like, was not super interested in it. Jude and Carden, 4 stars. Just for them. I will be picking up the next books, and I'm like still interested in the series. I just like, I need more. Putting this here. And enjoyable, but kind of forgettable, because like the only thing I think about is Jude and Carden. Internal Ones, I said goes with Merciless Ones. I'm just gonna stack these a little bit here over each other. That's the 3rd book in the Gilded One series. Thief Among the Trees. This is the Ember in the Ashes graphic novella. Is that how you say that? I'm gonna put this in exclamation point. I was just screaming the whole time. I had a great time. Like, no notes. Great time. Memories of Ash is part of the Sunbolts trilogy from Tassaud. The 2nd book. I'm gonna kind of just sneak this in the back here. I'll kind of stack them so you can see them all. But I'm like kind of trying to group series together. Sun and the Star is the latest Rick Riordan book. Put this right here. V.E. Schwab released her latest books in like the Dark Shades of Magic series. There's a Power. It was kind of forgettable, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of forgettable. I always thought V.E. Schwab's books were like solid books. Never like amazing, never like blew me away. They were like solid. you know, 4 to 5 stars, solid. I think my biggest gripe with this book, actually, I can tell you, is that like so much time had passed from the last book in the trilogy, but like no character development had happened. Other than like Kel and what was going on with Kel, where he was like, I'm not gonna spoil this. It's no spoilers. I don't know, I just feel like the characters themselves hadn't grown much in the amount of time that had passed since the original series, which is like okay, but it's like, I don't know. I just forgettable. We'll just say forgettable. Hope Ablaze, I loved exclamation points, all the exclamation points. Hope Ablaze is written by Sada, who is Wednesday Books' only Muslim author, and I will never not be supporting a Muslim author. So, Hope Ablaze, all the exclamation points. So exciting. Loved that book. And the Sky Blood. I'm gonna put this up right up here. And the Sky Blood is from Zoran's Bindery imprint publication. I loved this book. This book, loved with my whole heart. Like, first of all, I don't think I've ever read a book on a climate crisis, like in a fantasy dystopia type thing. Like, there's been books with like climate, but like the main issue in this book, main conflict, is a climate crisis, which is so interesting. I actually got to blurb this book. I hope that blurb comes out and you can. I was really eloquent when I wrote it, and I'm not so eloquent now. It's just dark, it's gritty. Like, the undertones of romance, they're very, very much subplots, but I was eating every bit of it up. Such a good time. Such a good time. Pre-order in the Sky Blood, please. Alright, Snow Globe is a dystopia that was actually written in Korean originally and now translated into English and published in the US. I had a good time with this one. I'm gonna put exclamation points. In like hindsight, was it the best dystopia I ever read? No. But I had a good time in the moment. Song of Six Realms. Just gonna sneak this down here. So, historically, Judy Lynn's books and I do not vibe. I don't know. And the thing is, I'm pretty sure I follow her on Instagram. She's a wonderful person. Wish her all the success. For some reasons, me and her books do not click. So, yeah. Sorry, don't make me talk about it, but yeah. Old Flames and New Fortunes, the second Sarah Hogel book on here. I had a great time with this. Like, Sarah Hogel can never write a bad book. I do think about this one actually pretty often. It's a second chance romance, which I previously did not consider that I was a fan of second chance romance, but I was vibing a lot with it. And, you know, I also vibed with it when it was written in Happy Place. So maybe I'm a fan of second chance romance. Just maybe. Alright, Dark Star Morning, Ash Falls Away. I cried my eyes out to this book. I think I posted a video on TikTok. I cried my eyes out to this book. Still would cry my eyes out to this book. That's a sequel to Song Like Silver, Flame Like Night. Wow, look at me just knowing that. It's a little embarrassing. Oh, I make myself laugh. Content creator tip: if you're wanting content creating, you have to be your target audience. Like, that is just like, we're sneaking this in here into this video. If I make myself laugh, then it's good enough to post. Like, that's it. That's the standard. All right, The God and the Gumho. I really hope I'm saying that right. This is from Sophie Kim, who is also the author of Last of the Talons, Wrath of the Talons. Love her books. Exclamation points. I'm pretty sure it's a standalone. Fantasy. It has more to contemporary vibes than fantasy vibes, but it is a fantasy because obviously there's things like gods and gumhos. Murder mystery detective. Love the banter. Love the coffee addicts. Just love it. Her Radiant Curse. I'm just gonna keep filling up the exclamation point. This is it's part of the Six Crimson Cranes like story. It's the stepmothers. I don't remember what her name was in the book. It's just her Radiance. Like, her story. Chadi's? I'm pretty sure her name is Chani. Her name's Chani. Her story growing up before, like, she becomes a stepmother in Six Crimson Cranes. Loved it. Elizabeth Lim does not miss. Hunted. So this book, randomly, so this requires backstory, actually. I made my Goodreads in 2013. I have been on Goodreads for a while. Like, do not quote the ancient text to me, which I was there when it was written. I've been on Goodreads forever. Fun fact, actually, when I got back into reading during the pandemic, I didn't even, like, was it on Book Talk, wasn't on Bookstream, like, not even in those spaces on my personal account. I was going through my Goodreads account and was like, what are people recommending these days? What's recommended under YA? And reading off of that. So Hunted has been on my like TBR for I don't know how long. My TBR on Goodreads. I randomly like saw it available in my library one day and I was like, oh, let me just borrow it and read it. And it's like a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it was very interesting. I had not read a Beauty and the Beast retelling written that way before. You know, I had a good time. I'm not even gonna lie. I kind of forgot about it, but it was a good time. So I'm gonna stick into the enjoyable but forgettable. Jujutsu Kaisen. I am going to be making a whole separate video on this. My journey to anime and all this stuff. Jujutsu Kaisen, I finally watched the anime in June. It was my first anime I've ever seen. We're gonna get into the anime video. And then I watched all the anime, like the movie and everything, and then I went and read all volumes. I read up to I caught up to where the manga is, basically, in 4 days. Which is insane, by the way. I'm just out of breath thinking about it because wow, that was a time mentally for me. But yeah, so I'm only including the first book on here, but I read all. It was like I had logged it, I think, as 28 volumes, including volume 0 on Goodreads, and that's just like an estimate. Like for the volumes that weren't like specifically out yet, like for the later chapters, like in the 240s, 260s, I went by what Goodreads comments were saying because I still wanted to log it in my reading goal somehow. Yeah. Would sell my soul to experience Jujutsu Kaisen for the first time again. Insanity. No spoilers for where it's currently going. We're gonna be a ride. Anyway. And then I read these 2 adorable little kids books that someone had sent to me. Love them. In general, like children's books are not my target books. I don't even know why I get sent them, to be honest, but like, you know, I had a good time. And I am keeping them to give to my nephew when he's old enough to read. Okay, so this is for Trial of the Sun Queen for the 3 books. I picked up this series at Ayushi's and Azanta's recommendation. Love them. Had a great time. And, you know, sometimes I hate pitching books this way. But truly, if you're looking for like an ACOTAR type book where it's just like no thoughts, fun fantasy, written by a non-problematic author with non-problematic themes. The author is South Asian. This book is, and I've read ACOTAR, this book is so much better. And there's no problematic stuff. Like, what are we waiting for? Trial of the Sun Queen, I had a great time. Like, I have to start squeezing this in here. Great time. Like, not a single complaint. I had a lovely time. I will say the books are a little bit more intense than I'm comfortable with. A little spicy. More than I'm comfortable with. And I'm not shaming anyone. It's just what I'm comfortable with. So, like, keep that in mind. Yeah. Sinner's Isle, I really wanted to like this one. Azanta came and recommended it to me. She was like, yes, you're gonna love it. I just was not vibing with it. Like, it felt a little insta-lovey. It felt a little rushed. Like, this would have, I think, thrived really well as a duology. Like, there's so much potential in this book, in this world. There are parts of it I loved, but since it is a standalone, things were just wrapped up really quickly, kind of rushed. Like, if this had been written as a duology and we had time for the romance to build, we had time for a revenge arc or some of these things that I wanted more of, would have been amazing. So I'm gonna put it like here. Yeah. Oh, we're on the last book already, and I have not put a single book in the last year. That is so much better than last year. Okay, really quick. Ali Hazelwood, Not in Love. This is another one of those cases where I'm gonna stick it down here in the nicest way possible. And I say this as a big fan of Ali. I will always be the first person to say when this book is not for me, and that is okay. I'm not dissing the book. Not in Love was not for me. It's a very much more, like, she even says in the first page of her book, and maybe I should have just stopped reading them, which is fine, that it's not like her other books. It's not meant to be a rom-com. It's kind of more of like an intense, spicy type book, which I don't vibe with, which is just a personal preference. So I just putting it down there, but like, no shade, Ali, I love you. Okay. This is a pretty good wrap-up, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't realize this till now. I haven't read any books I've like hated this year, which, as somebody who is at my core a hater, this is great. Hopefully the rest of the year stays this way and I don't run into books I really hate. I really honestly have enjoyed my reading year so far. Discovered some of my favorite books and read a lot of series I wanted to get to. And I really hope the rest of the year is like this. And that is my tier ranking of all the books I've read so far in 2024. Let me know if you've read any of these books as well, if you have some shared opinions on any of them, and what your favorite books of the year are so far. And that is all for today. I will see you guys next time. Bye!